Hi, my name is Dakota Risto, and this is my final report and progress turn-in for my global learning project. I did my project with a good buddy of mine named Mike Lumen. He used to live on our floor right next door, and he goes to school at the University of Hong Kong Science and Technology. And it was just a blast to be able to meet up with an old friend and kind of learn some more things about his culture. So I had some strong feelings before, after, and during, and just to break those down. Before the project started, I was nervous. I didn't know if I'd be able to talk to him about sports, talk to him about school, just because he was somebody I went to college with and was a friend, and didn't ever bring up like life situations or just talk seriously, if that makes any sense. But it's kind of what I was nervous about before. But after it was all over, I realized that it's actually a super cool project that allows us to meet up with a friend or meet up with somebody new, depending upon how much you knew the person before, but to just learn something else about somebody you already know is, I think, what was cool for me. Um, During the like it at a certain time, I transitioned from being very nervous to, oh, this is really cool, was when we got to start on the second interaction, is when we got to start talking about sports. That was my project with him, is talk about some American sports culture, see what he could do. And that was kind of our second interaction. But during that, I didn't think he'd be able to talk about basketball. I didn't think he'd be able to talk about football or baseball, but he was able to compare the Cubbies taking 108 years winning a World Series to China's last dynasty, which I thought was hilarious. So that was the point where I kind of realized, like, Mike's a normal person, and regardless of whether I'm talking to him about school, sports, or his life, it doesn't really matter. Um, I realized that our cultures are very different throughout. The way that in China it works is you kind of study, you work. I mean, you obviously work your butt off. That you get, they're smart, and our Chinese education system makes smart students. It's kind of just known. And I realized throughout that I would not want to have to live my entire life and studying and working my butt off in order to take a test, because that's the dependent upon whether or not you get to go to the university you want to, where you go, where you attend your colleges. So I do really like the American culture in that we look at more than just your grades. We look at essays, we look at who you are as a person and why that is important. Um, Throughout this project, I also learned that it's not hard to make new friends. Mike was a good friend at the beginning, and he became a better friend at the end because it was somebody I got to learn more about. And it's super, what I realized throughout is it's super easy just to do that with anybody. So just walking around campus, you can say hi to somebody, and they're all here like you. They came from somewhere else, and they are here to get an education, and we're all kind of here fighting for that same goal. The um, the moment I realized that it's all the same in my presentation was also the same example of when we could talk about sports. When somebody from a different country halfway around the world can talk about sports that happen strictly within your country, that's a pretty cool thing. So this project showed me that I need to spend more time with others that are not as much like me. I play hockey. I grew up playing hockey, so I tend to spend my time around kids that play hockey, kids that play sports. But there's nothing wrong with being friends with people from different cultures, and this project has done a really cool job making me realize that. This also helps me understand how other students would work when I become a teacher and when I become an educator, because it's going to allow for me to see through the eyes of different cultures and be able to kind of understand where students are coming from and learn that not everybody's the same, but the earth is big, but it's not huge. So it's everybody's similar. It's just you got to figure out where it's at. So thank you very much. I'm again Dakota Risto, and this has been my final global learning project.